squash and stretch principle can be used almost as a supplement to anticipation. That is why in this class I will introduce you to the principle of anticipation, and later we can combine these two principles and try to create another short animation piece. Anticipation prepares the audience for what is about to happen and helps to sell believable moments. Almost every time we make a move, there's going to be anticipation, because we usually think of things first, then do them. Imagine someone jumping in the air. Before the jump, the person would bend the knees to prepare himself for the jump. Without this movement, it would probably be impossible to jump, and if you were to see that in animation, it would look strange and lifeless. We can use this jumping example just in a simplified way with an object to practice anticipation. Here I have an animation of what we're going to soon create, but first, let's analyze it a bit. The anticipation is always going to happen in the opposite direction than the main action is going to go. So, just like a real person would bend down before jumping up, here our cube goes down in anticipation before the main action, which is the jump. Usually the anticipation is also slower than the action, so our cube is also taking some time to go down and then quickly jumps. Finally, we have a settle at the end after the impact. So basically, we can divide our animation into three parts, which are anticipation, action, and reaction or settle. And you can usually divide any animation into these main parts. Let's go back to our main scene. Before we start animating, let's take a look at the rig. We can hide the ball mesh and ball controls display layers now and turn on the visibility for the cube controls and cube mesh. It should already look familiar to you since it's almost the same as a squash and stretch ball. We have a big square cube global control for placing the cube in the scene. Then we have a smaller square cube translate control for moving it. Then the big circle in the middle for rotations. And finally, the upper and lower squash and stretch controls. We won't be changing the squash and stretch direction in this exercise, so we don't have a rotation control for that. Our scene is hopefully all set up. We have an auto key option turned on. Our playback speed is set to 24 frames per second. Our default tangents are set to auto ease. And I'm not bothered by the selectability options since I've separated my cube's mesh into a different display layer, which I have set to a reference mode so it can't be selected. Let's set our playback to 80 frames, then select all the controls and set the first key. We are now all prepared for animating a cube jump with anticipation. So in the next lesson, we'll jump right in and start animating.